Okay, now here's what our third video is going to be for. What you have is this sheet here, and this tells you all the perfect squares. So we all know these have been up on the board forever. These are your perfect squares. And then I put them in square roots just so you can see what it's equal to. Now, these are your perfect cubes. 1, 8, 27, 64, 125. That's because the cubed root then is equal to 1. Like the cubed root of 8 is equal to 2. The cubed root of 27 is equal to 3. Cubed root of 64 is equal to 4. Now, these could be negative. Put a plus negative in there. Now, these are only positive because it's odd. Now, I also have perfect fours. Okay, 1's a perfect fourth, 16, 81, 256, 625, 1. These are even, so those are positive, negative. Then perfect fifths, okay, 1, 32. That's all you need. I didn't keep going, okay. So the fifth roots are equal to these, okay. Then perfect six, those could be positive or negative too. Now, you have to know what the root is when doing these, okay? So if your number doesn't have a number that tells you what the root is, it's automatically 2, so that's a perfect square, okay? Now, and we're looking at these down here, the numbers in the square root. Well, 9's on the list, okay? It clearly equals 3, okay? If it's on the list, I don't need to divide. I just put the number 3. And don't put a square root over it. That's what you do when you have a number not on the list and you can't divide it by anything. Now again, 2 plus minus. Same answer here as I got here, but that's not the same on all of them. Okay? 98. Okay? 98, again, that's a square root. So I'm looking on this at this grouping right here. 98's not on this list. Here I'm running by with my pen. Okay, so I start dividing. Now 98 is between 181. So 98 divided by 81, fail. 98 divided by 64, fail. 98 divided by 49. Okay, that worked. So I put these, and I put 49 and 2. Now we get rid of this one and put what integer it equals, which is 7. So 7 square root 2. Now that's a 2, so please put a plus negative in front of that, okay? Now, you're wondering, why do we have to have two answers? This is approximating it on your calculator. This is simplifying it, okay? You need to know both ways to do it. Okay, now, I don't want to look at this group of numbers here because now we're into the cubed roots. So I'm looking at perfect cubes. So I'm looking at this list. Now, 27's a number, and that's on the list. So I just put 3, okay? If I got a whole number here without a decimal, I'm going to have the same thing here. You can just, that's, okay? Cubed root. So 8's on this list, and it's equal to 2. So I just write 2 down, the integer number 2. Okay, now 54. 54 was not on the list, so it would fall between here, okay? So I start dividing. I divide 54 by 27. Okay, that worked. So I make 2 roots, but they are cubed roots, okay? And you put 27 and then the quotient you got. And we eliminate the first it's called a radical, actually. I eliminate the first radical and replace it with the equal, which is 3, okay? So the answer is 3, and you put 2, put the little 3 then there, just so you know it's a cubed root. And cubed roots are only positive. Okay, 56. Again, it's a cubed root, so you need to be in the cube section. You got to know what section you're in. A lot of people lose track of that. Okay, so 56, it's between here. But I don't think 56, I'll try it. It doesn't divide by 27. Now go up to 8. 56 divided by 8. Okay. So I make the roots. Now they're both cubed roots, not square roots, so it's important I put the 3's there and I put 8 and 7. Now we need to eliminate the 8 from the list because that's equal to the integer 2. So 2 cubed root 7. Okay, the cubed root of 15. Now 15 was not on that list. I'd start with 8, okay? Don't do 1 either, okay? Don't ever do 1. I mean, 1's on the list, but if you don't, yeah. So 15 divided by 8, that's a decimal, and I'm not going to do 1 because that really doesn't do anything, okay? So I'm not able really to divide 15 by anything on this list other than 1. So if that's the case, that is when you keep the cubed root on top of it, okay? That's it. Okay, now the cubed root of 256, okay? So you're still in the cubes. 256 is, by the way, that's 216. Sorry, you can't read my writing, okay? So 256, first we start with 216, doesn't work. Get a decent calculator. Then I go to 125. 216 divided by 125. That doesn't work. 216 divided by 64. Or no, sorry, 256 divided by 64. Okay, I got that to work. So I write 2 roots down. They're each cubed roots. Then I put 64 and 4. Now this is the one we need to eliminate because that's the one that has an equal. And the equal is 4. Okay, so it's 4 with a cubed root of 4. Okay. Again, this is the approximation on the calculator. This is simplifying it. You need to know what I'm talking about when I say each. Okay, now it's a 4th root. So this is the second, this is the third, the 4ths are on the back. Okay, and you always want to go with this list here. Now 16's on the dang list, so I just put 2, okay? And it's 4, so I'm back to putting the plus or minus sign, okay? You don't put the square root over the 2, okay? That's what you do if the number ain't on the list and you can't divide it by anything. Okay, 81. That's 3, okay? That's plus or minus. Again, if you did on your calculator, you got an integer, then it's going to be an integer here, okay? It's when you got a decimal where the answer is a little bit different. Okay, so 80. 80's not on the list, so we'd start with 16. If I can't do it by 16, then that leaves just 1, and I'll keep the root over it, but we got to see if it divides by 16, which it does. So I put the 2 roots, they're both 4ths. I put 16 and 5. Okay, we eliminate this and we look at what that was equal to, and it was the integer 2. So 2, 4th root, 5. Now that's even, so that needs to be positive, negative. Just put it in front of the thing. Okay, the 4th root of 100. Now it's this list here. It ain't the square list. 100's not on here. Okay, so I divide 100 by 81 decimal. 100 by 16 decimal. And that leaves me with 1. So if it's 1, I just keep the 100 under the 4th root. But you do want to put the plus negative in front of it. Okay, now you're on 5th roots. Now I'm guessing since I got that as an integer, 32 is on the list. Here it is, it's equal to 2. Okay, it's odd, so that's why we don't put the plus negative. Okay, now I'm back to the square root. Okay, so I want to flip over to the back and go look at my squares. Okay, 162 is not on this list, so I guess I'd start at the bottom. 162 by 144, no. 162 by 121, no. 162 by 100, nope. 162 by 81, yes. Okay. So if you want to put 2's, really, if it's a 2, you really don't need the 2 there because it's automatically a square root if you don't put anything there. But that's fine. So I divided by 81 and I got 2. You got to put them in the order that you divided. So we need to lose that. That's equal to 9. Okay. So I put 9 and then a square root of 2 next to it. Okay. Now, if it's even, I do want to see the plus minus just like you had over here. Okay, now go in your packet and then fill out the other half, the first half of those, okay, using this. You're going to be putting them on this side. Know what list you're looking at. You're going to be on the cubes here, the fourth, the fifths, the sixth, the sixth.